Good afternoon. Welcome to Montgomery's Riverwalk Stadium here in the heart of our great city. I'm Mike Murphy, General Manager for the Montgomery Biscuits, and I'm thrilled for the opportunity to have you all here in our ballpark for this exciting announcement. So this ballpark obviously is one of the most charming, unique ballparks in all of the country, in all of minor league baseball, and we're excited to add to that charm and add to that history here. And it's my honor to announce that the Biscuits have entered into a historic partnership with the Negro League Baseball Museum in the city of Montgomery. During the 2026 season, we'll open a permanent annex to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum within the historic train shed right here on the first base side of our ballpark. Through art, storytelling, memorabilia, and digital features, this new landmark will tell the stories of the players, teams, and influential members of the Negro Leagues. Unfortunately, Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues, wasn't able to join us. He had a surgery earlier this week, but he has shared a video that we'll be sharing with the media following this event. But cannot thank Bob enough for working with us. We know he's here in spirit, but we're so grateful to him for the work and passion that he puts into the Negro Leagues. If you've ever seen Bob speak, heard Bob speak, you will understand why this is so important to us to be able to work with Bob and with his organization here. So we're grateful to display not only baseball history through the stories and everything that Bob is going to be sharing with us, but American history. That's a very important piece. So we're very grateful to be a part of that and to bring that to our fans and visitors here in the historic stadium here in Montgomery. It's now my pleasure to introduce the visionary for this project and one of the people very instrumental in building this relationship with the Negro League Museum, our owner, managing partner, and COO of the Montgomery Biscuits, Lou DiBella.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. This idea started percolating in my head before I ever bought the team here. We came to visit and taking a tour of the ballpark, and I was here for a game, and I remember thinking, what a gorgeous corridor this is, this giant real estate that leads into this bar area at this ballpark, and thinking to myself, it's got to be a really good use we can put this to. It's too quality a space not to be using it right. And then I look across the street, and all of a sudden the Equal Justice Initiative has established their Legacy Museum and opened one of the tremendous tourist attractions in the country right across the street from our ballpark, in the cradle of the civil rights movement, Montgomery, Alabama. And immediately, also, I want to regress a little bit. Since about 6 years old, someone gave me a children's book about Satchel Paige. And since I was a little kid, I've been sort of obsessed with the Negro Leagues and with the stars of the Negro Leagues and the connections between the history of the Negro Leagues and the civil rights movement and the history of baseball. You see, we're living in some strange times now where words that used to be sort of acceptable and important, like diversity, inclusion, and things like that, they all of a sudden become sort of bad words. But black history is American history. Negro League history is the history of baseball. And that's what this project is all about. It's about taking our opportunity here to make our ballpark a 12-month-a-year location, to make it a place that will be alive even when we're not playing from April to September. So I want this place to be a center of education, a center of entertainment throughout the whole year. And I can't think of a better use of our space than putting a permanent exhibit of the Negro League Baseball Museum into Riverwalk Stadium. We're going to show you some pictures later and concepts. It's in the early stages. We're developing this right now. There's no question that everyone knows about Jackie Robinson. His number's retired, but there's a whole history of baseball that preceded Jackie Robinson, and there have been struggles of the black player in baseball since Jackie Robinson. And I want those stories to be told in Riverwalk Stadium. And I'm thrilled that Bob Kendrick, one of my heroes, by the way, got the vision for this. He immediately understood what we were thinking and basically put his stamp of approval on this. I want this to be an exhibit that casts a light on the Negro League Museum in Kansas City and encourages people to take that journey and that trip. This very week, USA Today named the Negro League Baseball Museum as the third in their list of top 10 places for a sports fan to visit in the United States. The Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City was number 3. So to have them as a partner in our exhibit here, to be able to help them expand their brand and advertise their brand, advertise their exhibit in Kansas City through our exhibit in Montgomery, it's just mutually beneficial. I think it's great for our fans. I want school kids to be coming into this ballpark in the winter on class trips, to have lunch in this room, to see a film that those 4 screens are going to be replaced by a giant screen. There'll be a screening room set up regularly when we have school trips and stuff here. Those movies will change. We have access to the entire archive of the Negro League Baseball Museum to show films that they have in their collection, to show other artifacts they have in our collection. It's going to be a cooperation between us. This is going to be done at no cost to the Negro League Baseball Museum. And there'll also be no charge for kids that come into our exhibit, fans that want to see the exhibit. There'll be a suggested donation, 100% of which will be sent to the Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City. So there's not going to be any profit for us on that. I hope we have people coming into the ballpark. I hope those people eat and drink when they're here. But this is more about making Riverwalk Stadium a natural part of the civil rights tour of Montgomery, Alabama. And thank you to my friend here, the mayor. And I want to say he was my friend before he was the mayor. One of the first phone calls I made when we bought the team here, at the suggestion of the then mayor, when I said to him, I need to have some support from leading black opinion makers and politicians and significant community leaders, one of the first names he gave me was Stephen Reed. And I called Judge Reed then, and he's been a friend of this team and of our operation since we moved here, and I'm grateful to you for your continued support. Without Mayor Reed, this wouldn't be possible. And what has happened in the 7 or 8 years since we've owned this team to the downtown of Montgomery, the boom that I'm seeing and encouraging new businesses to come to Montgomery, encouraging the growth and the development of the downtown region, and really accentuating our status as the destination in America if you want to learn about civil rights in America. Like, that means a whole lot to me and a whole lot to our organization. And that's the reason why I felt that this project, to me, was very personal. So to be here today, I'm thrilled to be able to be here today and to announce this. And on that note, I'm going to pass it back to Murph. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Particularly thank you to Bob Kendrick, because he's a one-man gang. He's a one-man operation. He is out there teaching people about the connections between civil rights and baseball, telling people the stories of the great Negro League players and the sacrifices they made for baseball to be where baseball is today. And for Bob to have given us the right to do this, he did that as a leap of faith, and I'll be grateful forever for that. And I think that this exhibit will be part of the legacy of the Montgomery Biscuits in this town. And I hope part of the reason that people continue to come here to learn more about civil rights, to learn more about American history. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lou. And as Lou's mentioned, this would not be possible without our great partnership with the City of Montgomery, City Council, the Parks and Rec Department, and of course, all the leadership. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Stephen Reed. Mayor Reed.
Good afternoon. First, let me thank Bob Kendrick and the Negro League's Baseball Museum for your vision and your partnership. I want to say thank you to my friend Lou DiBella, Montgomery Biscuits, for helping bring this exhibit to life right here in the Riverwalk Stadium. I want to thank everyone who has worked behind the scenes, both at the city, with the Biscuits, throughout this community, to make this day possible. As someone who grew up playing sports, not very good at baseball, which is why I retired at the age of 12, this moment means a great deal to me personally. Grew up hearing about the Negro Leagues from family members, so many stories, so many people, so much history. But sports has a way of teaching us lessons about discipline, teamwork, and perseverance. But they also have the power to shape our society, to break barriers, and to inspire generations. That's why today's announcement is so important. The City of Montgomery and our City Council is proud to join the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and the Biscuits to create a permanent annex right here at Riverwalk Stadium. Truly is something, Lou, that I think will set us apart among stadiums of all sizes at all levels to have this right here joining what takes place here on so many great nights, so many great days throughout the baseball season. But this just won't be an exhibit. It will be a living tribute to the men and women who built a legacy of excellence in the face of exclusion and injustice. Those whose names you know, and those who work behind the scenes to promote and preserve the names that we know. It's civil rights history. It's American history. There's no way to whitewash this out of the history books or to put this under any three-letter acronym to make it anything but what it is. And there's no better place for this story to be told than right here in Montgomery, the birthplace of the civil rights movement. We're especially proud to honor 3 Alabama legends whose impact went far beyond the diamond. Henry Hank Aaron, who broke Babe Ruth's home run record while carrying the weight of hate mail and threats, and did it with grace, dignity, and unmatched determination. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, who some call the best all-around baseball player who ever played. His combination of power, speed, and defense made him one of the great historic Hall of Famers, 5-tool player, as they once said. And then Satchel Paige, a masterful pitcher whose skill, showmanship, and longevity turned him into a living legend, proving that talent could not be denied forever. Each of these men came from Alabama. Each of them turned obstacles into opportunities. Each of them showed the world their greatness knows no boundaries. This exhibit will allow visitors to experience their stories and many more. It will connect baseball to the broader story of civil rights. And it will add a new stop on Montgomery's Civil Rights Tour, alongside places like Dexter Avenue King Memorial Baptist Church, the Rosa Parks Museum, the Freedom Rides Museum, and, of course, the Legacy Museum. This is not only a gift to baseball fans, it's a gift to our city, our community, our state, our young people, and our future. It will attract visitors from around the country and, indeed, I believe, around the world. And it will remind us that the lessons of the Negro Leagues, resilience, courage, and excellence, are lessons we still need today. Together, we are not just preserving history. We are honoring a legacy of triumph over adversity. And we're ensuring the future generations will walk into Riverwalk Stadium and walk out inspired. This museum annex will be more than an addition to a ballpark. It will be a landmark for Montgomery, a landmark that tells the truth, celebrates greatness, and inspires progress. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for the partnership.
Thank you so much, Mayor Reed. And as Mayor Reed said, this is going to become a landmark. And one of the gentlemen up here, Ron Simmons, the Chief Destination Officer from Experience Montgomery, he and his team have done such a great job of showcasing all the great landmarks that we have in our great city, and really showing visitors what Southern hospitality is really about when they come to visit Montgomery. Welcoming all types of visitors, conventions, sports tourism, military events, constantly having people coming through, and that's what this is about. We want to have something that when those people come through, an added asset and an added experience for our city to be able to showcase. And with that, I'd like to bring up Ron Simmons, Chief Destination Officer for Experience Montgomery.
Thank you, Mike. And, of course, thanks to the visionary. Lou, thank you so much. Thank you for believing in Montgomery and really for this opportunity. And, Mayor, thank you so much for this partnership and leading Montgomery to the next level. And I'll tell you, it is really, really a fortunate opportunity for Montgomery. A lot of times our locals really don't realize what we have here already. So tourism is booming in this city. As a matter of fact, this stadium that we're in has recently been named one of the top minor league baseball facilities in the country. And then we recently heard from Travel and Tour Worldwide that Montgomery is now on the list of destinations such as New Orleans, San Diego, New York, Philadelphia for tourism. So we're named with them, but Lou, I believe this facility is going to put us in another category where we're going to say they need to be named with us. So we're really beginning to create something here that's even more special with this additional asset. But again, to the mayor's point, it's not just an additional asset. We called our tourism purposeful tourism. And we have been 3 years in a row. Montgomery is #1 in the state for international tourism. And now we're starting to see more and more, not just internationals come, but you're starting to see people from all over this country come here because of the civil rights movement, because of the social justice, and how the landmark has changed just in downtown, but it's also changing the world. And what we would love to see is to make sure that our locals, that we get out and have this experience and learn, because again, to Lou's point, this is a learning opportunity for our locals and for those abroad and those who are throughout this country. So we're excited about it. It gives us something else to go and showcase and make sure that when people are here, they also have a great time. We just welcomed and had a very successful Department of the Air Force Information Technology Cyber Training event. We call it DFITIC. It's come here for 30 years or plus. And they had over 4,000 very, very high-end officials here from high-end cyber companies and government contractors, as well as the top generals in the United States Air Force and Space Force. With that, when they come, now there's an additional asset that they have an opportunity to experience while they're here, and that they can go and take back into their communities to make a difference. And as we have things like the ACSC, or we have other schools over at Maxwell, this is an opportunity for them to come and have a great opportunity to experience that. And many times they incorporate this into their curriculum. And we see that with like the SEC, or we may see the ACC Athletic Conference come. For 4 years, we've had the Big Ten Athletic Conference will come here, and they will do that. We're having tournaments with the Sun Belt Conference. When they come, they will have an opportunity to take this back into their curriculum and then bring their schools here, bring their students here, and experience this and go back and make a difference. All because of what you're doing right here at this facility to make a difference. And it's not just about baseball, because baseball is really a way, I think it's a catalyst to more, to really go in and hone in on what is already happening and that it's making a difference in this world. And you're making that difference right here. Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity, the partnership. And we look forward to being a part of that with you and helping you drive more and more tourism. And it's going to be great for the economic impact, but even more so to the hearts of the folks that are here. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ron. And at this time, I'd like to ask Mayor Reed, Ron, and Lou to walk over with me, and let's unveil some of these renderings and let everybody see what will be coming here to Riverwalk Stadium.
As I said, these are a work in progress.
Yeah, and as Lou mentioned, some of the main features that will be in this exhibit, where Mayor Reed is right now, a timeline showing the timeline of the civil rights movement along with Negro League Baseball, a space to honor, because we are the capital city of the state of Alabama, to honor all the great players that Mayor Reed mentioned that were born right here in the state of Alabama. To have artwork throughout, to have memorabilia and different features throughout that will forever be changing. So something that we can continue to adapt. So it's not something that you just come to once and you've seen it. It's something that can change from year to year or season to season or month to month if we'd want. A lot of digital features, again, using the amazing archives from Bob Kendrick and the Negro League Museum, where people can kind of build their own adventure as they go through and look at the digital screen and decide what they want to learn more about or who they want to learn more about, and hear those stories directly from Bob and directly from the individuals that made that huge impact on the Negro Leagues. At this time, we'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Following this, we will have a short video from Bob Kendrick that will be played on our video board, and welcome you to go out and view that. But come and view all of these great renderings, and let's get excited about everything that we have coming up here at Riverwalk Stadium. And very thankful once again to everybody here joining us, and of course Bob Kendrick and the Negro League Museum. Thank you so much.